Hello and welcome to the AIM Inclusive Play Tips and Ideas for the book Hey, Children on the Autism Spectrum Play Too. This is a fantastic resource primarily to support practitioners who are already working with children on the autism spectrum in their preschool settings, but also to support practitioners who are new to working with children with autism. This book is full of valuable information presented in a very practical way to help practitioners understand autism and how to support children with autism in their preschool settings using a person-centred approach. This book explains at length how children on the autism spectrum behave an awful lot differently to their peers, especially in their play scenarios. It also encourages the reader to reflect on these play scenarios and how they are presented, to ensure that they are encouraging participation and inclusion of each specific child. A piece I found really interesting and beneficial to my work from this book was a piece on identifying the barriers to children's play. It talks about taking the child's voice, the practitioner's voice, and the parent's voice into consideration when identifying why the child is not engaging in play. When we think about the child's voice, even though the child may not be verbal, they can still be telling us something by the way they are acting in their preschool environment. They may seem disinterested or detached from their peer group. This should encourage practitioners to observe the children, note their interests, and provide play experiences based on these interests. When we think of the practitioner's voice, this could be that the practitioner is just not confident in engaging with a child on the autism spectrum because they've never done it before, or they do not know how to engage a child that seems unmotivated and seems detached from their peer group. When we think of the parent's voice, it could be a fear that the parent doesn't feel that the environment is safe enough for their child on the autism spectrum. This is where practitioners must ensure that the parent feels welcome in the preschool environment, that they have open dialogue and open communication constantly and share information that is important in relation to their child. Communication and collaboration is key in every preschool environment to ensure the inclusion of children on the autism spectrum. I found this book also gives a fantastic overview of the benefits of play that practitioners need to be aware of and refresh on regularly. Practitioners can sometimes provide play experiences just because they're fun and enjoyable. However, they need to take into consideration the list of benefits in this book that are really important for providing play experience, especially for children on the autism spectrum. Finally, at the end of the book, there's a part broken up into sections, giving the practitioner simple ideas for activities to promote sharing, use of imagination, physical activity, and social interactions. This is a great resource for practitioners to go to spark some imagination to come up with their own activities to implement in their preschool room. This book would support practitioners to plan and provide a range of appropriate learning activities to support children across a range of learning areas, but also to support a child in an area of development where they have specific difficulty. This resource would also make practitioners reflect on their practice within their preschool settings and encourage them to make changes where necessary to ensure they are meeting children's specific needs. It is also a fantastic resource to support practitioners who have never worked with children on the autism spectrum before. That was just a brief overview of the tips and ideas I have taken from reading this book. I would encourage you to read and explore this book at your own convenience, keeping in mind children on the autism spectrum that are in your service already. But remember, you can make adaptations to the suggestions and activities listed in this book to suit the specific needs of the children in your setting.